Good morning, Sagittarius. TGIF. TGIF. Welcome to the weekend report. And Saged Muse, this is a channel for Sagittarius. We're our little Sagittarius community, so we're just not doing predictions here. We are growing and interacting for our best transformation, Sagittarius, for sure. Hopefully, even if you don't feel like any of this is your story, which, you might not even be aware it is your story, right? And keep in mind that if you are feeling like these messages are something that's already happened, there may be a reason it's coming back up. Keep that in mind because, just saying. And even if you don't find that if you don't feel this is your story, hopefully you find some inspiration in it. Okay? Okay, Sag. So, I'm tired already. It's been raining here for days. 4 days. And we are still in this full moon energy. So understand that, emotions could come and go, particularly what I'm noticing is that people with water moons or earth moons seem to be feeling more emotional than the fire moons specifically. I am a Sagittarius moon, and emotionally it hasn't really been bothering me. But who knows? Expect that it could happen. Emotions could come in, they could go out. And all I can say is ride the wave, Sag. Ride the wave. The full moon energy typically only lasts for like 72 hours, and maybe it's pointing to where you need to go, because full moons are about releasing past versions of yourself and, things that you don't need anymore. I highly suggest, spiritual bath or shower. You can do it even in the shower with, I use pink salt. Yes, yes. But I do that on the regular because I'm feeling like there's always stuff to let go of. And cleansing your energy is probably the best thing you can do. So let's get to it because we have a lot of things here, Sag, okay? Because I try to cover everything. And today, of course, we will be doing love readings. I will be doing a love reading for singles, looking for new love, and understand that, past people can come back too. And also doing one for people who have a specific person on their mind, and I'll be doing extended readings for that. And I have changed a little bit. So now you have the option. I know there were some people who had trouble with paying with PayPal. So you can also, there's Stripe on that account now too. So, yes. Sagittarius, let's get to it though. Because, the energies here underneath the deck was higher power. So, I feel like you may be getting downloads, the actual meaning for this card is about receiving something that you prayed for, right? So if you've been praying and praying for specific things, and I do feel like Sagittarius has really been praying for their next cycle, to be honest, which we talk about a lot, but I don't know that it's actually come in. And I have had this like overwhelming feeling that once Aries season gets here, things are going to start moving pretty quickly, because I do feel like we're still in completion energy, to be honest with you. So your synchronicity is, oceans of emotion and plant seeds of intention. This is about really getting very clear on what you want and maybe even needing to separate your emotions from that, right? Because this is a lot of feminine energy. So this is about what you want to manifest. And we manifest through feminine energy, through gratitude, of course, which is connected to feminine energy, our intuition, because feminine energy are the ideas. Masculine energy acts on those ideas, but masculine energy needs the feminine energy in order to make things a reality. They work together. So, that being said, you have to know what you're acting on, right? Right. So, but what this is talking about too is about sharing your emotions, opening up emotionally about what you want. And I also just kind of feel though, because sometimes because emotions come from the mind, and to be honest, emotions are temporary, right? And so there may be a need for you to get some emotions out before you can really start taking action towards your desires. So you may need to speak to someone, may need to speak on it, but be careful where you speak on it, Sag. To be honest, the best places to show up in a vulnerable way are with people that you have emotional safety with. Meaning, maybe not Facebook. Maybe not Facebook, maybe it's a close friend who is a good listener, that kind of thing, or you could leave it in the comments. I am an empath on steroids for sure. But anyways, I feel like you've been really focused on praying and praying for moving forward, honestly. And that hasn't exactly been easy. I was just hearing, but things keep coming up. Things keep coming up, and that happens, right? What's going on in relationships is, there's doing a lot of work on self-worth. So there's a big theme here in regards to relationships and self-worth. And I don't feel like it's just you, Sagittarius. I feel like you've been working on your own self-worth, knowing you're better than some things, right? Knowing you're better than people who make everything else more important. People who don't make you a priority, knowing you deserve to be a priority. And this may be a habit for you, making this kind of thing okay, right? Taking a back seat. And, it can also be where you're realizing, maybe you took too much of this energy on, thinking like on some level it was about you. It's never about you. Let me just say that, it is, we all make our own choices, and whoever these people are, they choose to do that, and so they may be doing it from a place of self-worth as well. So there may be, you may have been learning about self-worth with people. And I feel like it's a really good thing, especially this coming up during the full moon. This would say that you are leaving that behind. Being okay with it. I'm not allowing this anymore because, I'm the Empress. Whether you're male or female, I'm the Emperor, I'm the Empress. I know what I'm worth. I don't need to do this, right? I deserve to be important. I am important, And so, and it's no shade to anyone else. If there are things that are more important in your life, then by all means, go do that. Go do that. And also not letting that affect you and not taking that as I should do more. No. Because you're leaving this habit behind in relationships. You need to know that. Oh, and that's a setup for love readings, ain't it? Okay, Sag. So between worlds is here. So you do know something is coming. You do know that, you are moving into another cycle. You have one foot in and one foot out, right? And I always feel with this, the reason a lot of times we one foot in, one foot out is because we're figuring out what we're taking with us, right? You're definitely at the heart of the reading is poise, getting ready to go, which very much, even though it's not a representation of the Knight of Wands, but it very much reminds me of the Knight of Wands, because that is the Knight of Wands all over the place, right? And it just seems like to you, whenever you're ready, right? You're ready for this next thing. You're ready to move forward. It seems like maybe you feel like you keep getting pulled back, or something keeps coming up that prevents you from moving to this next timeline, but you're coming to peace with a lot of things. Here, peace is here. I love this, and maybe it's even the thought process that just when I'm ready for things to get better, to move towards the sun, something happens. I have to do something else. And, maybe you're just at peace with that, Sag, because it's real. This peace card's so interesting to me because it has the hearts and the stars. I feel like you've had to, in the current timeline, make some peace with things. Okay? Maybe you know that too. Definitely. Okay, so underneath the deck was deep knowing and go the distance. Because you know that, like, this isn't, like, we can move forward and we can do something new that will only last for 5 minutes. Or we can focus on the big picture and what's going to last over time. And so this is really about the long game for me. And so I feel like that's very much heavy on your mind, right? On wanting lasting change. And you know that it's coming in. But you also know, oh my gosh, TikTok is reversed, so that it isn't time yet, right? And do I not always say this whole thing, chop wood, carry water, which I read the book, and I suggest anyone who has, difficulty, particularly with, stagnancy and the process. This is about, doing what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. This is about being okay with the process. And, even when it comes to repetitiveness, it might seem boring, but it kind of sets you up for the future. Okay? We don't get good at things until we practice them day in, day out, day in, day out, without reward. It's all about the process for you right now, Sag. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like you are very much getting in tune with that. Because underneath the deck for you, Sag, was justice and the Knight of Pentacles. You know that if you just keep going at it, it's all going to work out for you. Because you're understanding that that's the way things work. Right? What I put in, I get out. So, maybe you're not so tweaked about time right now. Which is good, because Sagittarius usually is. We are very impatient people. We are very impatient people. But there's other things going on here, Sag. Other things. 10 of Cups with the Emperor. It's very interesting, Sag, especially this card. Because, and all decks are different. And this card is definitely about possibilities, about seeing possibilities and something turning good, being good. The 10 of Cups is the ultimate in happiness and fulfillment. But it is, although it is a completion, it is a road, it still kind of is seeing the possibilities. Okay, and it feels like you may be seeing the possibilities and really focused on building something that's going to last emotionally. So this could really be about love for you. It could be about a person too. Getting to know someone, and even working through problems and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here, because there are some overturned, some spilled cups. Working through things is what I really feel in this card. And, because the Emperor is here, this is like building structure with someone. But not just structure with someone. I feel like this is structure for your life, right? I do feel, because the Emperor is a partner, but also can not be a partner, right? Because it's about Aries, and Aries is about our sense of self and what we want to grow. And you want to build a big, I feel like you're not just concerned with being happy right now. This is about being happy over time, right? Over time. So there may be things to work out. And with the Ten of Cups, that is that movement to things working out. You've been through all of the things, right? And so you may be really seeing the possibilities, particularly with particular people, right? What you don't need to focus on this weekend is obstacles. Now, we are seeing Leo so much. Have I even said, like, the Strength card comes out in every reading? Every reading, right? And it's funny because, the goldfish and the cat here. Cats don't rush, y'all. So it's really telling you that, the Eight of Swords came up sideways. All right. So, there may be obstacles, and you're just being told that you really don't need to address them right now. They'll still be there after the weekend, or after, these are things that aren't going to get worked through in a day. It's going to take time. So it's kind of feeling like you are, or you will be in this space where you're not, since it's sideways, you can see it coming to an end. You can see your obstacles coming to an end. And there's a lot of gentleness with the Strength card too. It feels like it will, and you're not as stressed out as you used to be, which is good. I feel like someone wants to visit your Sag. The Fool and the King of Cups. And this may be this Ten of Cups energy, especially if if you've been having a lot of conversations with someone, trying to work through issues here, trying to turn things around, right? I feel like there's someone who wants to come see you. The Fool, the King of Cups, the Two of Wands. They want to come together. They want to start talking about the future. They want to start planning the future. And what's interesting is I feel like whoever this is might pop up on you, because the Fool there's a risk involved, right? There's a risk. And with the Two of Wands, like, I don't know, that feels like a serious pull-up energy, like, knock, knock, it's Sag there. And you're like, whoa, where'd you come from? But I feel like this is for those who have actually been putting work into turning a connection around. And this is a connection that you probably have, like, been through it with this person, like, a lot. This could also be family, because the Ten of Cups does very much represent family, and the Emperor very much represents a father, but it's so much like you want to be able to depend on the relationships in your life. And so, it's interesting because you are seeing the possibilities in someone, in being able to build something strong with someone. And obviously, like, since these people are out, they're out and they're eating, right? That could be happening. That's where you're getting together and talking about the future, talking about, you know, the structure and seeing possibilities and where things are going. I love it. So keep in mind that can be family, that can be friends, that can be lovers, because there isn't anything here aside from the King of Cups and the Ten of Cups talking about specifically a lover. We're not seeing the Lover's card. We weren't even seeing, you know, the Knight of Cups or what have you. So I feel like this is just strengthening a relationship and figuring out where you go from here and seeing possibilities through really talking about it. And so, you know, what's coming in is coming together on the future, where things are going, and not really feeling as tested by the obstacles, for sure. You know, and Leo's bringing this in. Okay, Leo is strengthening your relationships. So maybe, you know, a huge part of what's going on is deciding what relationships are worth working on and what aren't, to be quite honest with you. What you want to do, Sag, is just stay home. Temperance and the Four of Wands. You know it's time to figure things out. And you want to feel good about things, but at the same time, you kind of just want to stay home and maybe even focus on your home or what feels good. You know, really with temperance, focus on your own energy and kind of like, it could be too that everything that happens in this situation has made you want to just spend some time balancing specifically how you feel about things. And, you know, so you may feel like you don't really want to talk to anyone this weekend. You just want to, Two of Swords, think about the crossroads. Think about what's next. You know, the Page of Swords is funny, though. Because I feel like what you're finding is that you do have to make a decision. You can't put it off anymore. And but I feel like you want to think about what that is. You know, what that looks like to you. If everything was stable, if everything was gravy, you know, with the Four of Wands, everything was good, what would that look like to you? You know, and I feel like you may be thinking about that. So as much as, you know, this person wants to come see you or get together with you, or people wanting to work things out, you're willing to talk about that, but you also need that moment to really think about whether or not this is good for you, whether or not this is what you really want going forward. So lots of processing, Sag. Lots of processing. And what you're actually doing is, I don't feel like you're going to be able to get out of this conversation, right? Because we're seeing the Devil and the Sun, the Knight of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. You know, I don't think you're good. And the Five of Pentacles is so, like, it came out twice here. You know, and it kind of feels like someone here might be pushing the issue about working on things, right? And doesn't want to go back into where, you know, the Five of Pentacles space where we are apart, you know, and I feel like the fact, like, if you try saying to them that you need some time to yourself to think about things, it could make them feel rejected. And, you know, I feel like this is bigger too. It's like it's bigger than just working things out. This person's got to deal with some things about themselves. Something, and it may be things that you've avoided telling them, you know, because you don't want to hurt them. But the truth is, it would help this person more than hurt them. Kind of like they cause their own struggles, right? And they need to, and what you're telling them is they need to take some time and think about, what changes they need to make. Because the truth is if they don't, this could all fall apart. All the strides that you've made, if they keep going back to past tendencies, this could all go wrong. So I'm not even sure this is a romantic love situation for you, Sagittarius. It feels very much like a friendship or a family member who kind of avoids their issues, but it's come to the point where they can't, they can't. And I feel like you're being real with them. I do. I do, though I know a lot of people are going to say this is an ex or a past person. It definitely is someone you know. It definitely is someone you know, but, there is hope here too. But there's only hope if this person is willing to make changes of their own destructive behavior. Because what you're telling them basically is that their own destructive behavior caused them to be alone. Caused the separation, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know, Sag. We'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. I know that was a whole story. That was a whole story, Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, so let's get your mindful message. What is Sagittarius's mindful message for the weekend? Sagittarius's mindful message. Oh, it's telling you to eat good food, Sag. All is okay. All that I feel is okay. I hold myself in love through the unsureness, the worry, doubt, anger, fear, anxiety, rejection, or overwhelm. I am thankful to feel the full range of emotions that I do. These emotions are the very contrast that leads to my higher expansion. And I feel like in this situation, if this is your story, for whoever this is, you definitely need to do that. You need to share, because the Five of Pentacles showed up twice, it kind of says that both parties feel rejected, feel, regret, and maybe it's regret that you didn't say what needed to be said. So definitely you are sharing your feelings, and this isn't how you intend to go forward. Okay. So that's what I got for you, Sagittarius. I hope it really helps. Toodles.